Peace and love, beautiful souls. Welcome back. I'm Alea, and this is Alea's Angels. Okay, all right. Today we have Matrix miniseries episode 4. Today I'm going to start getting into the Gateway Experience CIA document. We're just going to be going over the introduction, the first part of the document, and then we're going to continue on with that in the rest of the series. So let's get into this video. Removing all the negative energy, any negative energy you had before coming here. Okay, let's get into this video. Look at that. Oh no, guys. Wait. Alright guys, let's get into this video. Alright, here I have the CIA document that was released in 2003. Alright, it's the analysis and assessment of the gateway process. Alright, so let's get here. You tasked me to provide an assessment of the gateway experience in terms of its mechanics and ultimate practicality. As I set out to fulfill that tasking, it soon became clear that in order to assess the validity and practicality of the process, I needed to do enough supporting research and analysis to fully understand the how and why the process works. Frankly, sir, that provided to be an extremely involved and difficult business. Initially, based on conversations with a physician who took the gateway training with me, I had recourse to the biomedical models developed by Bento to obtain information concerning the physical aspects of the process. Then I found it necessary to delve into various sources for information concerning quantum mechanics in order to be able to describe the nature and functioning of human consciousness. I had to be able to construct a scientifically valid and reasonable lucid model of how consciousness functions under the influence of the brain hemisphere synchronization technique employed by Gateway. Once this was done, the next step involved recourse to theoretical physics in order to explain the chapter of the time and space dimension and the means by which expanded human consciousness transcends it in achieving Gateway's objectives. Finally, I again found it necessary to use physics to bring the whole phenomenon of out-of-body states into language of physical science to remove the stigma of its occult connotations and put it in a frame of reference suited to objective assessment. I began the narrative by briefly profiling the fundamental biomedical factors affecting such related techniques as hypnosis, biofeedback, and transcendental meditation, so that their objectives and modes of functioning could be compared in the reader's mind with the gateway experience as the model of its underlying mechanics was developed. Additionally, that introductory material is useful in supporting the conclusions of the paper. I indicate that at times these related techniques may provide useful entry points to accelerate movement into the gateway experience. Niels Bohr, the renowned physicist, once responded to his son's complaints about the obtuse nature of certain concepts in physics by saying, "You are not thinking, you are merely being logical." The physics of altered human consciousness deals with some conceptualizations that are not easily grasped or visualized exclusively in the context of ordinary left brain linear thinking. So to borrow Dr. Bohr's mode of expression, parts of this paper will require not only logical, but a touch of right brain intuitive insight to achieve a complete, comfortable grasp of the concepts involved. Nevertheless, once that is done, I am confident that their construction and application will stand up to the test of rational critique. Paradoxically, having gone to such great lengths to avoid trying to render judgments based on an occult or dogmatic frame of reference, in the end, I found it necessary to return at least briefly to the question of impact. The question of impact of the gateway experience on common belief systems. I did so because although it was essential to avoid attempting an assessment in the context of such systems, I felt that it was necessary after having completed the analysis to point out that the resulting conclusions do not do any violence to the fundamental mainstream of either Eastern or Western belief systems. Unless that point is clearly established, the danger exists that some people will reject the whole concept of the gateway experience and the mistaken belief that it contradicts, and it is therefore alien to all that they hold to be right and true. This study is certainly not designed to be the last word on the subject, but I hope that the validity of its basic structure and the fundamental concepts upon which it is based will make it useful guide for others personnel who are required to take the gateway training or to work with the gateway materials. Okay. So that being said, I searched a couple of some of the words' meanings just to help people and myself get a better understanding of what is being said, grasp the concept of the paper a little better. So I went ahead and I looked up for, those who don't know what mechanics mean. Mechanics is the branch of applied mathematics dealing with motion and forces producing motion. And I didn't write this down, but I did look up quantum mechanics. I will bring that up later. But make sure when he talks about fidelity, like he's talking about the quality of being or factually sound, cogency, the quality of being clear, logical, and convincing, ludicity, which is clarity of expression. Okay, so then he goes to mention Isaac, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Isaac Bento, who is an Israel inventor, scientist, mystic, author. Okay, he invented the steerable cardiac catheter, which helped pioneer the biomedical engineering industry. Biomedical engineering, which was also mentioned, which is medical engineering, is the application of engineering principles and design concepts to medicine and biology for healthcare purposes. Okay, then he went to state Niels Bohr, who was a Danish physicist, and he was the foundational contributions to understanding atomic structure and quantum theory. He was also a philosopher and a promoter of scientific research. They use the word occult, which is just the supernatural, like anything dealing with magic. He mentioned dogmatic frame, which is just opinions expressed as if they are facts. Then I have the USAINSCOM, which means the U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command. Those were just a couple things that I wanted to look up for myself, and I thought would be useful for you guys to also understand what is being said in this paper. But that concludes our video for today. So may peace and blessings be upon your souls. Ashe.